I wanted to, just take a quick zigzag because it just hit me just now. Since you were in the EMT system, 9/11, where were you and what were you doing at that time?
So 9/11, my boys were toddlers. We were living in Suffolk County, and I was working the overnight. I did a lot of years in the overnights.
Okay.
So just throw that out there. So I did the overnight, came home. What I would do is come home, I would go to bed, my wife would watch the boys, let me get some sleep. I'm laying down, she wakes me up. A plane just hit the World Trade Center. I'm like, all right, it probably was an accident or something. No, went back, I'm groggy. I go back to sleep. She comes back, another plane just hit the... I'm like, wait, what? All right, that's intentional. Yeah. So now I'm sitting up, I'm watching, and then at that time we had pagers. That's, I'm just gonna date myself. So we got paged. Okay. Everybody come back in.
Yes, I was wondering.
And,
okay.
Yeah, so I went back in, and I went back to work. I was there for a week straight. My wife, very, very little communication because the cell phones weren't working.
Yep.
So I spent a week basically at work. Went down to that first day, got sent to ground zero. Here's the thing though, by the time I got to ground zero, you expect to see, pandemonium, but everything had kind of fell. It was just dead silence, and that freaked me out a little bit. Like, wow. Okay. And, we were staged, a few yards away from the pile, and it was just silence, and that kind of like, you knew, it was, the silence was probably worse than the chaos to me, because it was just an ominous sign.
Which you never hear in New York City at that time of day. It's never quiet.
Yeah.
Everyone was in shock.
Yeah.
But because I know being in the healthcare system and being an EMT type on that, you had to be like a frontline responder.
Right. So then we were at Chelsea Piers. That's where we were stationed. I brought a bunch of equipment down there and some surgeons, and they were everyone was set up waiting in this makeshift operating room.
So it's like a triage center.
Yeah, and everybody's just waiting, and no patients would come. So we stayed there through the night, and then I just spent the rest of the week kind of picking up the other stuff, because the operation still has to run.
Yes.
There's still calls that need to be done.
Yes.
So you kind of operate in this massive mass casualty incident, but you got to keep everything else going around.
Okay. I didn't even
continuity, right?
Yes.
This is continuity.
Okay.
So that was, it was just a long week. I remember my church, people would call, check on my wife. They know that she was home, two small kids. So I appreciated that they called, they looked out for her. So that was my 9/11, 9/11 kind of experience.
I'm glad, because I wanted to, I'm sitting here, I'm doing the math now. I'm like, okay, 20, 50, okay.
I was
I'm
around.
trying to think where he's at. So it's grateful to hear that, because, even my company, across the river, we kind of hit that Jersey City area and tried to help stage stuff across the river that way. So I wasn't involved with that. I was not one of those front responders, but like you said, now we have to keep the rest of the operation going, because the country shut down.
Right.
And it ain't been the same since.
Right, exactly.
Okay. All right, that was me.
So when you hear living your best life,
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
That means coming over and hanging out with the Joneses. Come
You
on,
know
what you
that.
doing?
You know that. I'm doing it right now.
I mean, other than the obvious.
Yes.
Other than the obvious.
Yes. Okay. When I hear living my best life, that's something that's kind of new to me, honestly, because I didn't know what that. I never even heard that really till a couple of years ago, and I was a workaholic, but I used to work. I was a workaholic.
I can see that.
I'm not gonna lie. I got that from my pops. Like we all got that. All the three of us.
Yep.
You never see us without a job or two jobs or three.
We already know about Suey's a workaholic.
Yeah, and I, once my boys got older, I realized I was missing certain things, like missing sporting games, or I didn't miss a lot of them, but I missed enough that it bothered me sometimes.
Okay.
And I realized, all right, maybe I'm doing too much, as my wife would say. You're doing too much. You're doing the most. So.
And we like to say that too.
Yeah, but it got to a point where something had to change, and I'm like, I'm not really enjoying life the way I should. I have a lot of good stuff. I have a great family. You know what I mean? The career's going well, but am I enjoying it? Not really, because I'm on the phone all day. I would go on vacation and be on my computer answering emails most of the time, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
On my phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not the way this is supposed to be.
Yes.
And something just clicked, and I'm like, you know what? I need to learn to enjoy life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Had a little health scare a while back. Not COVID. Something else, my heart, whatever. All good now.
You okay?
But that was another thing. Like, Life is short.
Yes, it's, oh, say
Very
it.
You need to enjoy your time here.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I've seen too many people live miserably, die miserably. That is not going to be my story.
Okay,
And I'm
okay.
determined. And I'm also, I like fun.
You do,
I'm
yep.
a class clown by nature.
Well, that's another thing you have in common with Mr.
Yes,
Johnson.
and that has stayed with me throughout my life. You know, we're
Yeah.
gonna laugh. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
I
a little
think people
loud.
live a good life.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure it was genuine. And I'm really, right now, I must say I'm actually in a stage where I'm actually enjoying life and living my best life.
Good.
It took a change in my career. I actually don't work where I used to work anymore.
Okay.
And I think that was a big catalyst for
Move you.
make this big change
Okay.
and kind of I'll control my
Okay.
time, work-life balance. I'm going to control that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in a good phase with that as far as, living
Good.
life.
Now,
Absolutely.
what advice would you give to another individual who is trying their best to enjoy life but still is overwhelmed with what they need to do in life? Because sometimes we feel like, I have to go to work, how am I support my family? I have to do this, I have to do that. What advice do you give someone who is not necessarily living their best possible life?
No, that's a great question, and I can relate to that.
From what you went through.
Yes,
Mhm.
you have to make yourself the priority.
Ooh, man, that's
Take care
gold.
of you. You know what I mean? And everything else will kind of start to fall into place. But you have to be the priority. Life is going to be there. That bill is going to be there.
Yeah.
You work all to knock off that pay that bill, pay these bills.
Yep.
I'm not saying don't pay your bills.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I used to live life for that.
Yes.
I gotta
Yeah.
pay this. I got
Yes.
and that check to check kind of thing.
Yes.
And, you get paid, you pay your bills. Now you don't have
You
anything
got
left for
nothing to
you.
enjoy. Yes.
And that's what I call our struggle phase, right? Right when I went through, I tell my young couples and young people, you're gonna go through the struggle
You have
phase.
to.
That's like your 20s and mid 20s. You gotta go through that. That's part of life.
Thank
you. But the struggle phase can't be permanent, and you gotta always find a way to position yourself for the next move. And I tell people all the time, life is play chess, not checkers. Stop
Yes.
doing the short hops. And let's look down, your next 3 or 4 moves.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do this job for this long. What's next?
Yes.
And how do I get there? You should
Okay.
always be building up to the next level. We always talk about the next level, but we don't do a lot to get to it. You have to actually take action
I love it.
and towards that to get there.
Okay.
Love it. I love it. And those are jewels right there, because sometimes in life it's okay to take a lateral, but you can't take laterals for the whole
Correct.
part of your life. And I'll never forget when I left my manager when I got my first supervisor job. And matter of fact, we was going to Toronto. We was in the airport, and he walked me. He says, "Come take a walk with me, get some coffee." He says, "I hear you're in the running for a position." I said, "Well, yeah." He looked at me and he said, "Why? I thought you were happy here. Why would you leave?" And I was happy. She'll tell you, I was having a ball. And I said, "Well, it's a promotion." He said, "It's a promotion?" He said, "I thought it was a lateral." I said, "No, this is." He said, "Never mind, conversation over."
Okay.
That was the end of the
That's good.
conversation.
Well, at least
he
he
said,
supported
"If
it.
you get the job," he said, "do me a favor." He said, "Call me, because I don't want nobody else hearing about it, because I want to get the team together
Okay.
so we can tell them together." And of
Excellent.
course, I ended up getting the job, and
See.
that's what happened. But I appreciate that, and even to this day, he's another one who's still, I'm connected to,
Mm-hmm.
because it's what you're saying. When they see that you have opportunities to do something, they don't hold you back. They see that you have some sort of plan, and they push you and let you go. A lot of us don't plan a career. I tell people that after you're at a job, if you're staying in the same company, if you're there 5 years, it's no longer a job. This is your career.
Mhm.
Now you need to start planning what you're doing.
What are you going to do? You got to be moving,
Okay, I like that. Yeah, man.
All right. So what do you and the wife do for fun?
Team Robinson?
Team Robinson. Hashtag Team
Team Robinson.
Robinson.
What do Team Robinson do for fun? Because that's another thing. You have to make time for your spouse. It
Yes.
can't be all about the children. All about
Yes.
One of the things that we initiated was our monthly date night,
Yes.
and I am so grateful for it.
Yes.
What do you and wifey do?
So yes, date night, definitely. That was a big one, especially when the boys were smaller, the men. When they were smaller, you have to make that time.
Yeah,
Um,
because it could be all about the kids without you realizing it.
I've seen this a few times where they were all in on the children, And then when the children got to that, 16, 17, 18, now you're two married people, but you're strangers because you don't know each other.
I love
Exactly.
It's
that.
like, who are you?
Yeah.
So
Are y'all listening? These are jewels he's dropping here.
Exactly. Pay attention, folks.
So when it comes to your spouse, partner, you definitely, especially when you have children, we say this all the time now. It's just me and you against them. It's us against them. They're crazy. And they're not gonna drive us crazy. So we shut it down. We go to we're always in the AC.
Okay.
That's my getaway, my go-to getaway.
All right, we'll be
Quick
there
2-hour
with Jay. We're going
I
back.
love it down there. We just go there and just chill. Not even whatever. Just kind of sometimes.
Because I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, but
I just like to be there.
Yeah, and listen. Sometimes you want to turn up. You turn up. You know.
That's right,
Yes.
that's right.
Okay.
We were just there.
We love
to-
AC too.
Yeah, it's just a good getaway. But we definitely travel a lot. We love the beach. We love
Yeah,
the
man.
Caribbean.
Caribbean,
Yeah, matter of fact, we're going to
Oh.
Panama next month. It's April, right? This month we're going
Yeah.
to
You're
Panama.
going to
Oh,
Panama.
good.
Yeah.
My best friend is from Panama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my wife's family's from Panama. Mom and dad were from Panama.
Okay.
Panama, and we this year alone we Bahamas, Jamaica. We did St. Lucia last year. We did a lot.
Okay.
We travel, we go out, we have fun, we laugh.
Yes.
If you're around me, we're gonna laugh.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so. I grew up. We actually rubbed off on each other. Like I've picked up some of her traits, and she's picked some of mine. So now she's a bit of a class clown too sometimes, but it's good to laugh
It
together
is.
and
It
have
is.
fun. We
100%.
actually have fun. We'll. Any given night, we'll just go in the basement, rock out some karaoke, and call. Like just
that's
start
fun.
whatever
Yeah.
whatever it is. We'll just have a good time. We
That
love
is
concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's us.
She loves
Yep.
MJB, so whenever Mary's doing something, we're
You'll
probably
go to-
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, I'm more like Wu-Tang, so
Yes.
Yeah.
wherever they at, we're
You
doing
have to.
something.
That's you
Yeah.
repping the borough.
Got to,
Yeah, man.
got to.
Okay.
So just have a lot of fun together. Just grow together. We've grown.
great.
We've been together since 20 and 21.
Right.
So we're 50
Absolutely.
something now.
How
We've
familiar does
grown
that sound?
together.
Yeah, we've been together since 19. I met him when I was
Right.
19.
Yeah.
So you grow,
Yeah.
actually
Mhm.
grow up together
Exactly.
and
You grow
experience
together.
life together, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to do that.
It is a
you
beautiful
know.
thing. I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
So let me ask you this, because I'm loving that, and I like what you said. It's us against the kids.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
So, what do you think are the greatest lessons that you have now breathed down into your children because they've had the ability to see your grandparents, which is your
Yes,
parents.
yes.
Now they've watched their mom and dad as they are now trying to get themselves established. What do you think that you have given them so that they can kind of launch out into the world on their own?
Right. The one thing, growing up with both parents, that's a rare thing, right? That was rare
And the
in my
black community?
generation.
Yeah, boy.
So, one, just having that example and living with that and actually being a part of an actual, a mom and dad
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Cause sometimes I actually caught flack for that. Oh, your parents are married, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, you mad at me? Like,
Yeah.
Just because you don't know your daddy.
yeah. but having my pops there to like set the tone, right, of the house, the structure, the order, and I just wanted to be like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just watching them, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a dad. I'm gonna be what he is, what he's
Yeah.
doing, and that, just watch, because your children watch you,
100%.
and they're gonna do what they see you do more than what you tell
Tell
them.
them. Yes.
You know what I mean? And just having that example was great. Watching him, his work ethic, can't touch that to this day. His sense of humor, I got a lot of that from him, I'm
Okay.
sure. His leadership, like he was when he was leading in EMS, his guys loved him, and I wanted to be that kind of a leader. And I always admired that. He would come and tell stories about how there was a big scene and he was in charge, and then the chief came and told him he could do a better job. It's like I used to love those stories
Okay,
and kind of
okay.
wanted to kind of live up to that. So that, definitely. I hope that answered the question.
No, it did.
Because like your kids are
great,
watching
yes.
you doing it, so they have no excuse to go off the rails if they
Exactly.
go hard left, and
Right.
then they look at you and like give you that. No, because I've showed you what you're supposed to do.
Right, and then
Okay.
as far as lessons, I would say once again, like my dad would teach me just basic stuff. Like in our house, One, you wasn't cursing in my house. You're not saying the N word. That was worse than a curse to him. You would never refer to
Another person.
Correct. He didn't play that, and we kind of lived by that. Laying down the law, having to talk, as far as a young black man, things you can and can't do.
Yeah,
I've had those
boy.
discussions with my dad, and
Yeah.
most of the times I listen. Sometimes I still got,
Yep.
a little trouble.
Gotta be just a little.
Yeah, you
Yep.
got to test the waters, but it was, I had those lessons that a lot of my friends didn't get.
Yes.
So I avoided a lot of missteps and
Okay.
drama that a lot of guys I grew up with probably didn't need to get those lessons. So, you have that, and there's a value to that, obviously, having that family structure. And not having my boys see my family, me and their mom, we're tight like that and how we operate.
Yes.
So you can only teach your children, and pour into them as much as you can, but at some point,
They gotta go.
you gotta let them go, and
it.
they hopefully that kicks in.
Yes, I'm so
and they
grateful
take that
about
with
that.
them. So,
Yeah, hopefully.
And one more
Yeah.
thing, because we do know your family in that sense. I don't know if you have siblings. Do you have siblings?
Yes. Do I have siblings?
Yes.
Yes, I have two brothers, Lamont and Basui, your son-in-law.
My son-in-law.
I'm just giving them a
My
hard time.
know
former,
you give him a
my
hard
former rap partner.
We're gonna talk
Yes.
about that. We ain't leaving this podcast until we talk about that,
Oh,
because we
gosh.
be getting on Basui about that. We're gonna talk about that.
Why we gonna break his chop?
We're gonna talk about that.
No, I like the dynamic between the three of you. That's why I wanted
Yeah.
to just say that, because what I see when I first met you, so I'm just giving you the first impressions. Obviously, I could see you were the oldest, and I said, okay, he's the bona fide leader of the crew because he's the oldest. Lamont is my guy. Lamont is, y'all don't understand. Lamont is funny.
I was gonna say, I think Lamont's pretty
He
funny.
is hilarious, okay?
Yeah.
I love to see him with his family because he is just straight funny. And then the crazy thing is, Basui being the baby, he seemed to be the more serious one.
Yes.
Like he's got this
Yeah.
like serious
Yes.
mindset.
Yeah.
He was the militant. He used to, yes.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up with your siblings in the household?
All right. So, in the household, as little boys, right? Lamont, the middle brother, always stayed in trouble. Always.
I don't find that
always,
hard to believe.
Always.
Middle kid syndrome.
Yes.
That's
So
me.
he could do no wrong.
Because he's the baby.
He's the baby. He was the cute one. Like I said, by that time they were done knocking us upside the head. But
Okay.
we got it. Me, I was, I guess, the serious one. Like I said, the class clown, always got in trouble because I couldn't sit still in class.
Okay.
Never paying attention. You know how many times I got punished for on my report card would say does not pay attention? Like, yo, what? Oh man. I still remember those days. And my mom's like, wait till your father get home. I gotta wait
Wait
2
till
hours
your
for
father
this
get
guy
home.
to get home.
Yep.
I'm in the room crying. Oh man. He comes home, she's telling him, and let me go. He comes to the back, and the rest was history. You couldn't do that today, but it was interesting in our house as we got older.
Yep.
So teenage years, I kind of wasn't home. I went to prep school, went to a boarding school.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of out of the house for like 3 of the major teenage years for them.
Yep. Yep.
And then when I came home, that's when Basui and I, we love hip hop. We kind of just got into this music thing together, which is pretty cool. Lamont, on the other hand, we're all actually very creative.
Yes.
Because he does films. He was doing films for a while.
Oh,
and,
that's right. I
Yes, I
remember
remember
that.
you spoke to us
he's
about
an
that.
incredible, actually, artist, like drawing.
Yeah.
That boy, he can draw.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta talk to Lamont then
Yeah.
about doing some illustrations.
Yeah, he's really,
Yeah.
really, really talented with that as well.
Okay.
He's the eccentric one, if you had to put a tag
Yes.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah.
all right to be eccentric.
No, I like that because it helps frame
Yeah.
fill out the picture of how you guys growing up.
Yeah.
Because the crazy thing about y'all is, it's a lot of testosterone. Like y'all really had no girls until Lamont's daughter,
Right.
and now Naomi.
Right.
Everything
Yeah,
is all
right.
male driven in your
Yes.
house.
Danielle
So that's
and
another
Naomi,
reason
that's
for
right,
the
Yeah.
strictness that mom and dad would have to put down because they were raising boys.
Oh,
That's right, all
definitely.
boys. That's
Yeah, man.
right.
And we were all scrawny, scrawny boys with big heads. Yeah, we got teased a lot. Y'all think what they call bullying today? Like,
Tell them.
what we went through, man. Listen,
Would they be up on
they
charges
were
today?
cruel
What they did to us.
You couldn't be a skinny kid on the block. Oh man! But that is where like
You developed
I
that.
learned the toughness
Yeah,
and
man.
the sense of humor actually kicked in because, all right, back in the day, people would rag on you, right? And I used to take it and cry. And one day, somebody was bothering me, and I just went off, right? And everybody was just dying laughing. And from that day on, I was killing everybody. Like people,
playing
people
the
would bring
dozens.
people from their block to come and battle. Like I'll take them all out. Like I'll rink you out.
I love it.
But that's how I got. Like I wasn't a fighter, right? I'm too skinny to fight, so I wasn't really a fighter. But you know, if you need me to insult you, I'll take you out.
So what do they call that? Playing the dozen?
Yeah, ranking
dozen,
you out,
ranking,
snapping
yeah.
on you.
Snapping.
whatever.
I forgot
Alright,
that
so,
one. Yeah.
snapping on you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
And
you
I
were
had
the
a big
expert.
mouth, so you know me.
Yeah.
I was that same cat.
Yeah, I was
And
reckless. It was
funny too. And I used to play ball, and this was my favorite thing. You know, always talking trash on the court, but most people talking trash on the court. Oh no, your boy did his research. I found out your mama's name, your daddy name, your girlfriend,
man.
where you live.
Right.
And boy, when I start recognizing your
skin.
boys on the team, I was that dude. And people look at they want to fight when you get to
Right,
that
of
point. If you
course.
want to fight me, you off your game.
right.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
So I was that dude.
He's still quick-witted like that. He's still.
With no filter sometimes.
No filter. And I tell people all the time, you guys only get him for like a few minutes. You getting mad.
That's what my wife
after,
says.
You getting mad after 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I got to live
All
with
day.
this man.
Yes.
I got to hear this all day long. I mean,
Yes.
he insults me so many times. It's just like, I just literally just,
That's love. Man.
I just
Yes.
throw my hands up and say, Jesus, take the wheel. Because I'm
Yeah.
going to hurt him. Okay? It's funny though.
So what are you looking for in your future? Because you said you left a job that seemed to be very demanding and was taking away a lot of your time. So you kind of like all of us will split ourselves to do multiple things.
Right.
But now you seem to have this school passion, and it seems like it's driving you in a focus. And now you're getting older up in your age. So what are you looking for, and what are you building for the future?
Yeah, where are you leading to?
So I'm getting. I would love to be in a position where I don't have to work for someone else and I can kind of do what I want to do, right? So what I mean by that is I am working on something.
You ain't got to spill the beans for
passion.
as long as we know
Yeah.
you're working on it.
But a passion that I've developed is actually like mentoring, coaching people, and it's what a lot of what I'm studying is along like the consulting type of thing and mentoring, coaching, professional coaching. So.
Okay.
You know, and that kind of came organically. Like throughout the years, young people would come to me for advice at work.
Yes. Yes.
One of the coolest things, people would look me up on LinkedIn and ask if they could be my intern. I'm like, what is this? I never heard of it, right? So I actually got one approved. One young lady was actually my intern for a semester.
Okay.
Employees would shadow me for their school project. So it became a thing. Like I'm like, maybe I'm on to something here.
I like that.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool, like to have that. And with my youth program, I've written dozens of like college recommendation letters. I'd be the guy they come to for that. So I'm writing letters for people for colleges I didn't get into. I'm like,
Yes.
bro, you asking me to write,
Yes.
to who? And they're getting in.
And
Like,
they're getting in.
that's a great
Okay.
thing. But yeah, I want to do something in that lane. So I'm working on something. I can't give too much now, but I definitely will when
Okay.
the time is
No,
right.
I like that.
Teaching is in my future for sure.
'Cause
I'm very close
I
to the hospital.
thought that's what you were doing because I could just feel that in you. So I actually thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I have a great relationship with Hofstra, which is where I did my master's degree. And,
Okay.
I'm actually running for the president of the alumni, whatever. But
I'm just trying to join my alumni, so I feel you right there.
yeah.
Yes.
So I'm working very closely with them. Very involved over there, and definitely I can see teaching, as a part of what I do. Like I said before, I'm really active in the church as well. I do, do a lot with the ministry, just serving, just wherever I fit in.
Yeah.
I do like to speak, so every now and then I'll speak, and some public speaking, things like that. So, there's a lot coming,
There's
a
a
lot
lot
brewing.
Yeah.
I just want to get over this school thing right now. It's really I'm kind of that's the
Yeah.
75% of my time right now is with that.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, I got some trips coming up and some fun as well.
Good.
But this time I'm gonna kind of control the narrative a little more
I love that.
than the employers controlling what
I like it.
Yeah, man. I like that.
it.
I
Yeah.
like that.
I'll be glad when I'm not working for somebody too.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I gotta get my secession plan going.
There you go. Exactly.
All right,
So
we're
how
coming
do
up
you,
on
we coming up
got-
on our hour?
we got about 54 minutes, so we could go another hard 5 minutes with some
Yeah.
good conversation.
So I mean, were you nervous coming here?
Nah.
No, you didn't
course
seem like
not.
you didn't seem like you was nervous. I was
This
just
is family.
nervous. So you didn't seem like you was nervous. So what do you think? I mean, like
This
you
is
know,
great.
it's great,
I
right?
can't believe it's an hour already. I'm really
you
enjoying
know,
this
everybody
conversation.
says that because
yeah.
we make everybody feel so at
Yeah,
home
man.
that
Yeah,
you
this
know.
the
And
flow
you
is
get to
great.
speak about yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because tell us about you, because this
Yeah.
helps open up the doors, not just for us, but for the listening audience out there.
A lot of times people don't like to talk about themselves, so when they sit in here, they'll be like, I don't even know what to say. But then by the time we finish with
Right.
you know,
Start
told us your
flowing.
whole
Yeah,
life story,
exactly.
and you did it happily too.
Yes, we didn't have to hit them with the IV.
No, you did it happily, so
No problem.
that's a good thing. We definitely enjoy having you here, and we got to bring you back, especially when you
Yeah,
start
once
to.
you get,
Yes,
absolutely.
into-
yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I launch. Yeah.
And we have to see more of you because we
I agree with
literally
that.
are family.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's one thing with my newfound free time.
Yes.
I've been working on visiting, seeing people that
Yeah.
I didn't really get to spend a lot of time
Yeah,
with,
man.
visiting family, friends.
Yes.
And that's definitely something I'm getting better at. So absolutely. I
beautiful,
agree.
beautiful.
My
I
new
got
word is-
nephews out here, you know what I mean?
Yes.
My niece, my
Yep.
nephews.
Yes.
So
My new word is intentional. Like, you hear people say it all the time, and the pandemic has made me become intentional.
yes.
Prior to that, I was like random like everybody else. Now I'm like, nope, that's what we doing. Make it happen when? Okay. Oh, what about this date?
Yeah.
I'm that dude. Like, we got to make it
true.
happen.
Definitely.
That is
You know,
definitely
Got to.
true.
Got to.
So you want to tell them the funny story about this podcast?
You mean how I got the date wrong?
Yes, please.
Well, it was all on me. It was all on me. In my head, I knew we said the 6th,
Mm-hmm.
but for whatever the reason, I thought the 6th was on a Sunday. And so I never checked it again. I just kept saying
Wow.
Sunday the 6th, Sunday the 6th. And even though when I put it on the calendar on the 7th, it was still in my mind, Sunday the 6th. So I was so glad when you called yesterday, all excited, are we still on? I'm like, is that tomorrow or is that Sunday? He's like, it's tomorrow. We still on? I'm like, oh yeah, we still on. Then I text Al, I said, oops, I made a mistake. So the podcast is not Sunday, it's Saturday. But we wasn't doing anything.
Well,
So
but this was luck of the draw, because what happens with, you and your wife too, you know how your schedules are. So a classic example is the one you did with that, the lady.
yes.
So that podcast was supposed to be an original date. She couldn't make it, broke the date. Then it was moved to a different date.
Different date.
And she keeps everything on the calendar. Now she sent me the email with the new date. Now, of course, I'm used to email coming from her one bucket. This came from another bucket.
Okay.
So because I put
So
everything
that's
on my
where you off.
calendar.
Right.
All of a sudden, Wednesday, my boy said he's going to be up on a Thursday. We get together. He's coming from Delaware. I said, no, I can't do Thursday because I think that night we went out.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, but I have to come up Friday because I got to go see, somebody up here in the
Yeah.
nursing home. I said, well, Friday works for me. So I told her that Wednesday. Then Thursday about that night, she says, oh, don't forget we got the podcast tomorrow. I'm like, what podcast? I'm like, pull my phone up. I'm like, no. I said it was one of the local
calendar, though.
dudes. It was not on the calendar.
It was on the calendar. Yes, it was.
No, it was not. It was. I take
All right,
pictures of the calendar
never
now.
mind.
So
Never mind,
it was
never
not on the
mind.
calendar.
Okay,
Because
but
I walked by it. If I'd have saw it on the calendar, I would have said something.
It wasn't on the wall calendar.
That's what I'm trying to tell
but
you.
it
The
was
wall
on-
calendar.
But it was on the invite calendar.
That's what I'm saying. It came from the different email address. That's why I didn't look at it. I don't put those dates on my calendar. When people send you those invites, I don't put them. I type them in myself. I don't use the Google and let it put it on my calendar. Forget that. I type it
See
myself.
the energy? See the energy?
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
It's like
Yes.
So
always.
what had to happen is I wasn't available. So I went out and hung out with my boys, but thankfully she reached out to one of our homegirls who's up here right now. She's in Florida,
Yeah.
but she's up here right now. She's my birthday twin. We share the same birthday.
Okay.
So she sat in and pinched hit for us.
Oh, nice.
And it
very
worked
nice.
well.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I called her like an hour before the
Yeah.
before the podcast. I'm like, Marilyn, would you like to do a podcast with me? She's like, what I gotta do? It's like, it's gonna be cool. People scared to get on the mic.
No, man.
I'm like, it's gonna be cool. We're gonna be cool.
But
She
that's
did a
why we try
fantastic
to
job.
coordinate
Yeah.
to make sure. And
Yeah.
obviously, I ain't missing this one.
No,
You know, I'll be
no.
on this one,
Absolutely.
So, and I told her
This
I'm
was
never
one that you
missing.
definitely was gonna
It's
miss.
going
Glad
to
you
take
made
something
this
to
one.
make me miss. I'll never
yeah,
miss
yeah.
on purpose.
It was just, also the anxiety of the wedding, and I just
Yes,
crazy.
a lot going on.
Congratulations on the wedding.
Yes, a
actually.
lot
Yes.
going on.
You guys got a lot going on.
We
this
had a
weekend.
lot going on,
Yeah.
but it's all good.
We can't
because
wait to
we
get
keep it
through
up.
and just move through. You got Key's birthdays next week.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Here
okay.
she comes.
Oh, is it next week?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
Lord.
next week. We got
What's
the
she
date
doing? She
night.
hiking?
You know, she said this is, I think for the last 2 years, she's not doing the hike on her birthday.
She's not. Okay.
Yes, because she always did the birthday hike, and unless she said because she has actual clients that have booked her for hikes. So I said, well, why don't you just take that thing? She said, it's their hike. I'm like, but it's your birthday.
Right.
But she's good. She'll be all right.
Yeah,
So
I think she's gonna do something for herself.
Yeah.
She's gonna go to the spa.
Just
something
to-
like
to
that, which
relax.
is really good. Yeah.
But let's give you an opportunity. If there's anything you felt like we
Yeah.
kind of missed, you want to get some closing thoughts out to the audience, something to just give them a little bit of just to close yourself out.
Sure. Well, one, thanks again. This was great. I really enjoyed it.
Not a problem.
We enjoyed you too.
Yeah, this is awesome. Listen, I would just say, if go after whatever it is you want to do, don't talk yourself out of it, because I forget the exact quote, but I know pretty much 75% of what we hear is our own voice, and 90% of what we say to ourselves is negative. So all you hear is your own self-doubt all the time. Don't doubt yourself. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. Just go and do it. Like when I told certain people, hey, I'm going back for my doctorate. Oh, why are you going to do that? Why do you care? I'm
Yeah.
done because I'm going to be a doctor. I don't know.
That's the question. Why do you care?
But whenever you tell somebody, you got to protect
Yeah.
yourself,
Yes.
Yeah.
protect your dream, because somebody will try to shoot it down,
Yes.
and for no reason. Like there's no other reason to say something like that
It's
to
their
someone
own
who's trying.
fear.
Not instead of saying, hey, that's great, you're trying to do something else. Ew, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
So, and I've heard that on a couple of things. And if you know anything about me, if you tell me I can't do something,
I'm the
That-
same way.
that's the worst. I'm gonna make
That's
you
a
eat those
guarantee
words.
that I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. So that fuels me up anyway.
Yeah.
But a lot of people get discouraged. Don't, like I said, we beat ourselves up. Don't beat yourself up.
Okay.
And bet on yourself.
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 I like that.
We're gonna leave with bet on yourself. Because I
Absolutely.
want you to bet on yourself. Because AJ and I, we certainly bet on ourselves,
All
right?
the time.
All the
All the
time.
time.
Yeah. So you've been listening to Real Talk with Real People and Candid Conversation with, and our special segment of Living Your Best Life with AJ and Karoline. We're here all the time, living our best life. I don't care when you find us, we're gonna be living our best life.
All right.
So our special guest today was Bernard Robinson. I'm so grateful that he has taken a seat next to us, and we had a great time. We had great
Definitely.
fun. So if you would like to sit in the hot seat, we want you to come. Come join us for another edition of Living Your Best Life with Karoline and AJ, and we'll have fun too. So, bye.
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 Beautiful.
All right. That was good.
It was. You
enjoyed
did
that.
great.
Definitely had fun.
You did great. I told you you would do great. This is